Heyo, everybody. How are y'all doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Back to make some more medieval stuff. Last time we did a whole bunch of work on some of the buildings and making smaller ones. I think we're just gonna continue that, but I wanna focus on the roofs a little bit more, so that like the thatch roof especially, like that we can make that look a little bit nicer than it does now. Maybe tweak some of the other roofs as well, so that we have like wooden roofs too. That would be cool. So we're gonna see how we're gonna approach that. I think I might start out with the wooden roof actually. Hey Christian! How's it going? It's good to see you back. Let's see. So let me organize, or like try to organize this stuff as well. Party area. I think most people are just gonna come and join the party at the market. Hi Corey. Hi Maddie. How's everyone doing? I think. I want to see. Because I don't remember, do we even have like... Yeah, these are like wooden slats, but they don't look great, do they? Don't look particularly great. Oh. Mm-hmm. And I don't think... Yeah, okay, so we do have these guys. How do they look? Oh, this is still using the old technique, right? This is still using just displacement. This one too. Gabbis, hello Tim. Nice to be able to catch a stream at this time. Awesome, happy to have you here, Gabbis. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Okay, so that one actually looks pretty good. Wait, is that... I'm so confused, is that just using my trim sheet? Looks like it. What? Yeah, it is. That is just using my trim sheet. Okay. A little bit unexpected. I think it was in error, honestly, but I don't really mind it too much. So maybe that's what we'll do instead. I don't really mind that. This is also using my trim sheet as well, so... Okay. Hey Vivek! Doing good, how about you? Gabus is doing great, just finished my work lunch. Awesome. So wait, does that mean you're back at work? And you're like... watching the stream on the side? And hi Unbreakable! Or you Breakable. How are you doing? Thank you for all the nice comments on the videos, by the way. I appreciate that. Yeah, so currently I'm trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with the wooden tiled roofs, because last time we said that we're gonna replace like a whole bunch of these buildings with like wooden tiled roofs, right? So what I want to do is I'm gonna take all this stuff, right, which is like my roof kit. Then I'm just gonna duplicate that and replace all the tiles with wood instead. That's my current thought process. So let's clean up a little bit, huh? Which one? Active element. I'm not sure if I use these two. So those are like the core roof components, right? So we're definitely gonna duplicate all of this over. That remains the same. I'm not gonna touch that. Oh man, we'll have to think about the naming, right? Because, I mean, we could just call it 02, I guess, for now. But 02 is not that descriptive, right? So I kind of want to change that to tiles and wood or something like that, right? Even... Oh, but this is called 02. So we're gonna change this up just a little bit. It is gonna screw up the naming convention though. 1 and 2. We'll have to do a cleanup anyway. So that's it's 2B. No, I forgot something. It's not with Wednesday bot. Stop it. Hold up, let me just disable that real quick. I keep forgetting to do this. Yes. Yep, that is true, but I have a second monitor and my work is about game dev, so the stream gives me inspiration. Oh, nice. What are you working on, Capis? Is it like professional work under NDA or personal work? So that's all good, and then we'll name this 2 as well. I'm thinking about the quickest way that we can go about this. Yeah, sadly it's NDA. No worries. Don't have to say anything. Is a thing that you're working on already like revealed, or is it still unannounced? So I think, which version is this? I think I had Roof Creator version 2, right? And then I think so currently the UVs kind of look screwed up because I haven't set them up properly in the shading here, right? Because if you're generating something with what is it, geometry nodes? Like it comes, well, at least the version that I'm using still, like comes with like this node where you kind of have to get the UVs from the generator instead. So that's why they kind of look a bit screwed up. So I'm gonna see. We plug in? I think it's the vector, right? Yeah. Vector into everything. See if that helps a little bit. Try the NDA. We also signed that. We discussed. Yeah, we all signed like the NDA, right? So okay, that didn't really fix it. Anyway, I think we can just ignore that though, because I think once we we're to duplicate this and we say apply all. I'm not sure since I'm pretty new at my current job. Okay, cool. No worries. I can 100% understand the hesitation. And don't ever feel bad about that, right? Like, it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, forgot one thing, right? When I collapse this, that's been a while. So I apply this, cool, and then I need to get my UV map. Is it this one? Or is it the other one? I remember. I think it might be this one. Okay, so I'm just testing how this stuff works again, right? It's been a hot minute. So I'm just gonna see if this roughly correlates to the roof that we have here. Hey, Guillaume, how's it going? And we're gonna push this stuff a little bit down so that we have like a nice curve going on. Then I think at this point we can start tweaking. Tweaking the shape a little bit. And then also got some scale variation. Ooh. necessarily want that. Oh, that's rotating it that way? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice when you have like very descriptive things in here, right? Like, oh my god. Let me actually change that. Rotation on the X. And oh. Rotation on the Y. Finished gym session, had lunch, and looking up water materials. What about you? I'm making some roofs over here. I'm gonna see if we can replace, like... Well, not replace, but like have a new set of roofs that we can replace like all the tiled roofs with. So that we can just swap them out and have like wooden slats instead of like stones or like tiles upon them. So yeah, okay. So it's a little bit porous, right? Like it feels like you can... So if we adjust the scale just a little bit. Yes. I'm so happy that I set this up. Because this would be hell to do it manually. Just smooth that curve just out a little bit. Don't wanna make it too unique, you know, but I like that it's like a little bit... Because it's not just the one, right? Like this is gonna be duplicated a ton of times. So, and now that we got this set up and the scale is kind of working, we can just easily do this for like all the other roofs as well. Super nice. Snap that there. That roof is done. And we'll do the same thing here. It's not an add-on. This is what I made myself in geometry nodes. Honestly, pretty simple. I mean, it looks daunting, but like it's pretty simple to set something like this up yourself. I know it's all relative to your comfort level, right? So might be talking out of my ass a little bit here, but like when you just want to scatter something on like an object, right? Let's say you have a plane. It's actually pretty simple to do that because you just take your plane or your input geometry, you then scatter points on top of it, and then you use those points as locations to scatter like other things on top of it, right? So just basically turn a mesh into a set of points, and then you use those points as like locations for your individual tiles or planks in this case. So relatively easy to do. I've only just started using Blender, so you weren't sure. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome to the cult. Don't post too much about it online because you're gonna get sucked up by a vortex of people that have a that have a weird opinion about it. Now, feel free to ask any questions though. Like if there's anything that I can help with when it comes to Blender, or well, anything in general, right? For anyone in the chat, feel free to ask questions. Get it like this, and then we scale it like this. Ish. I'll have to clean it up a little bit, but that's fine. We got the base. Oh, forgot my coffee. Coffee with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of honey. Honey. Nice and sweet. I think I want to get them in because I wanna test this early on and then start replacing it so that we can see this stuff in action, right? Because right now individual pieces don't really give us like a complete look at the entire thing. So let's do that first. I wonder if I can just serve. Where are we gonna put this? So pull the roof. Sounds good. Yeah, just as a general reminder for everyone, feel free to ask any questions, or if you see me doing anything weird, or I'm saying like stuff that you don't understand, right? Because sometimes I use like game dev jargon without even thinking about it. Feel free to bring it up, and I'll be happy to explain it. Yes, okay, let's get this in. Where are we gonna put that? Architecture, I guess modular pieces, and then roof. I drastically need to clean up like all of these things though. So roof. Oh, it still has medieval roof in it. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, let's think about a proper name for this. Because I do want to change the other names, right? So roof, let's call it roof wood. 1 meter. That's like way more descriptive than just having like medieval roof, you know? Because everything in this pack is going to be medieval. So that's not going to matter. So no, wrong name. This is gonna be 02. I think. Oh wait, I need to export this again. I think what we're gonna see is that it's highly likely that the materials are gonna be screwed up once I import this. Yeah. That's what I thought, because we haven't collapsed geometry nodes yet, and geometry nodes currently is a thing that holds our UV data. So, but that's all right. Like I just wanna see this in the engine, and what we're gonna do. Let me get some of the other pieces in as well. So. Roof, wood. This is 4 meters. Gotta make sure that everything is set to export. Oh, and also we need to export it to the subfolder roof. Important. We can just export those two things. Two and 4 in there. Cool. Gonna drag this to the side. This is a small house, so this doesn't necessarily need like a tiled roof, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open this sucker up. We're gonna replace like all these bits of roof. With wood. That looks absolutely disgusting, but and roof number. Nice. So we need these overhangs done as well. Haven't done that just yet. So that's this little set over here. I'm just gonna lay them out in the same way. Okay, so we have some consistency in the set. That's all corner stuff. Let's actually. I'm also noticing. Yeah, that's what I thought. We have like a bunch of stuff that we still need to clean up, so. I'm gonna go for, where was it again? Like mesh, cleanup, delete loose. I think we have to do it this way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, same here. There's like a bunch of stuff that is just left over from booleans or whatever I did with it, right? So need to clean that up as well. Let's continue. Again, same sort of technique, right? I just need to like roughly match what I had before. Especially paying attention to like the silhouette of it. So that's where most important things are gonna happen, right? So, and with most important things, I mean that's where one thing is gonna line up with the other, right? So that's why the silhouette is more important than the other things. Oh, such a lifesaver, this. Oh! But this one, we will have to collapse it already. Just gonna select all this, invert the selection, delete those tiles, or I can just... Oh, it's selected already. This is also nice, you know, just selecting by the material. Always really nice. You can do that. So the pivot point lands here. Oh wait, hold up. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm probably just gonna set the pivot point so that we can get this stuff in without necessarily having to combine it with the underlying structure yet. Because then I'll have to fix the UVs and I'll get rid of my geometry node setup, right? It removes the flexibility. So I'll do this first. And then we're gonna do roof overhang small 1 meter 0.1. What did we name the other stuff? So this is roof wood. And this is roof wood overhang. Overhang is such a long word, but it's pretty descriptive, I guess. Okay, so we'll keep the overhang. Roof wood overhang 2 meter. Oh, yeah, everything is set to export, everything is set to roof. Let's go! Form, do this stuff. Just want to be able to bonk that in there. There. Right, and now we can get to see like how these pieces interact, because you can see that there's like a line that's forming here, which is not that great. But it means that we'll have to tweak the pieces a little bit just to get rid of that line, because that's not good. And you can only see that when stuff is interacting with each other, right? Like it's very hard to see that just in Blender. So that's why we're doing this. Let's do the end pieces now. Wait, what was that called before? That's also called overhang. No. I think we're gonna call that like end cap. So roof wood end cap 4 meters. 0.1. And then we'll have the second one just called 0.2. Well, technically it's this one, right? It's a little bit messy right now, but we're gonna fix that just a little bit. Again, just to get an idea. Roof. Add that as well. Yeah, what is everyone else working on? I mean, if you can say, right? I know that there's some NDA stuff going on, but if you can say, feel free to put it in the chat. Guillaume is probably working on water because he's looking at water materials. Hopefully that's going well. That's the end piece. Guess we can just That's something we'll have to fix. I know what's causing it. I think it's the way that I set up the modular pieces. So yeah, we'll fix that. Oh wait, no, I can actually tell from the names, right? That's 01. Oh no, they're all just called 01. Okay. Thought I did something smarter here. Never mind. Oh, didn't we? Where is that piece? I am missing the small piece. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Wait, so... Oh, I didn't duplicate that one for whatever reason. Okay. Let's add you in here. Let's do something like this. Oh, this is nasty. Edges. Okay. Interesting. I don't necessarily... I guess we'll keep that for now. There's more details anyway. And I'm gonna call that overhang. Roof, wood, overhang, end cap. Right, so we know that that's going to be like a little bit bigger. We'll move that up a little bit. That's fine. We'll have to put some sort of like structure underneath this. Especially like maybe even under the big roofs as well. Would be nice to see like the underlying structure too. But let's see. So what do we need to fix? Oh my god, the lid looks disgusting. So we need to fix this little line here, which my gut is telling me that these ones... Oh. No, I think the curve here. We have like a little kink in the curve, right? So we're probably going to push this up a little bit. Which means that we have to take all these modules. Alright, only the wood ones. I'm just gonna... Still need them for some reason. I don't think so. And what I'm gonna do... Ooh. And set the flow of these guys. Maybe even take these guys into account as well. Let's see if that works. Two. I guess we could also... look in here. Because we do want this curve to be like as nice as possible. We're gonna see. Maybe it would also be nicer to have like a little bit of a straighter curve. And like if we were to do something... Something like that, perhaps? Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot that this one... So like these end pieces, we don't take them into account yet. I think that works nice. Okay, so that curve is fixed. Now we're gonna see if we can help these seams a little bit. Just taking a look, like, does this change? I don't think so. So this is interesting. I think that's the way that I kind of set it up. Do they have the same amount of points? Yeah. They do have the same subdivision on them as well, right? Yep. Because there's less tiles. There's less tiles here than there are here, right? So we'll probably have to compensate for that a little bit. So I like where that is at. Let's see if it matches in the engine. We were to, so this is 1 meter. There we go, 4. So this is how they match in the engine currently. These ones are all right. I think it's just this one really bad at the moment. But if we re-import them, it should match how it looks in Blender. Yeah. Let's have a look over here. It's looking nice. I actually do like the variation that we're getting here as well. Cool. I think then the other thing would be to change these guys up as well. Oh, I'm selecting the end as well. Don't want to do that. Hey Sarah! Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good Friday. So let's have a look. That should already... Oh, that might be a little bit better. Now it's too long. Okay, so we'll need to find like an in-between. ETDLE! Hi there! Welcome to the chat. Happy to have you here. How's it going? Medieval chill time! Let's go! Yeah, we're just making some nice little roofs here. That's what we discussed last time as well, right? That like we have too many like just tiled roofs, so I want to switch that up with like wooden roofs as well. So that's what we're currently doing. Just making all the modular pieces so that they fit the same kind of style as well. It's just about, I'm currently in the process of like tweaking all the shapes, right, so that like the shapes match nicely. Did I just remove one of the roofs? Hello, don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. This one's gonna match this one. Will there be moss on these? Yes, that's what I've been thinking. We need to do just like a general pass on like a lot of the materials, right? Where we can get like a little bit more of just a little bit more detail in everything, right? I mean, currently ignore the texture on this, right? But even the roofs, right? They could use like moss and like a little bit of wear and tear and all that stuff too. Everything is fine. I recently found your environment art book and I must say that it looks dope. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you discovered it. Maybe we can tweak it with this. We want to keep the consistency, right? It's just... Actually, I'm not sure how we're gonna fix this one. Because this removes one line, and I don't want to remove one line. Or like one row of tiles. I don't want to do that. What does that offset? Does it do anything? Seem to be doing anything. Okay. I mean, it is a smaller issue. Can't see it though. It's gonna annoy. It's gonna annoy me. Yeah, and if we change the pivot, that also changes some stuff up as well. Don't necessarily want to do that either. So, how much? We only need to push it just a little bit. Guess this one could work. Oh, yeah, I guess. A little bit with the rotation as well. That seems to help a lot, actually. I don't even know why there was a rotation on it in the first place. Right, okay, cool. Now, slight tweak. Pushing it up to where it matches the other stuff, like the other tiles. That's looking nice. Little missing section here as well, which is pretty cool. And I forgot that I added this, but we could have like a duplicate one and then just say like, hey, mask random, and just have like a broken roof as well. This could be pretty interesting for variation. Something to explore later on. Okay. Okay. Do we have all the pieces that we need? Goedemiddag, Martijn. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you so much. How are you doing? What's happening here? So and just scale this one. Oh, this was already scaled -1. Okay. So that's the end cap. Yes. And then we have this end cap over here as well. Yeah, so that one doesn't work yet. Still a gap. Obviously. Just watched your portfolio tips video, very helpful. Oh god, yeah, I need to actually do an update to that. Would be nice to have like a more concise version of it. But glad you enjoyed it, regardless. You're working on a personal project and getting my portfolio ready for and we're looking for an internship. Good luck. Good luck looking for internships. I mean, I do, like, if you want to get, like, more, I guess, more recent updates when it comes to, like, my portfolio tips, like, I guess you could watch portfolio reviews as well, right? They might be pretty helpful. I know that they're, like, more long form content, but might be some helpful stuff in there. Like, relevant stuff, I would say. So we kind of got like all the components. I kind of forgot what we did with these guys though. So we have one with a single edge and then one with a double edge. And I think that's because so I think the way that I set it up is that Why don't you do the roofs with parallax occlusion mapping instead of actual geo? Because you're gonna be looking at it from the angles that make parallax occlusion look really bad. Because parallax like really breaks down when you're looking at it from like this sort of angle. So that wouldn't really work. It will probably look like really horrible. And this is like normal human height, you know? So that's gonna be like super obvious. I don't know if I actually have an example of that in my scene. Oh yeah, we can already see like a little bit of variation coming in with just like the shitty wooden roofs that we just did. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this would be the angle that you're looking at on the roof, right? You can see that parallax is not great at like what are they called? Like slanting angles or something like that? Or like very shadow angles of view. And that's why I put these walls in there, right? So that you can't just look at it. Or like, I try to avoid you from looking at it at that angle, right? Because it kind of works, like once you're looking at it this way. But if you were to get up really close, and you would have to look at it like this, then it kind of falls apart. So that's why... So, roofs. Yeah, that's interesting. So, I do have the... So wait, where's my second one then? Oh, I don't think I've even exported that one. Yeah, so I guess we can call this one 02 again. Because yeah, the one that is angled to the left of the roof has 2 rows. And then the one that is to the right has 1 row, ideally. Right, that's kind of the setup that I have. I just don't know why I didn't export it. My process for the roofs right now, I mapped them onto a tileable. So I have like a whole bunch of different tiles. I kind of cut them out from like a tileable, so I have like the individual tiles, like you can see here, right? As like pure geometry. And then I make my own tool, like this guy. I've made this in like geometry nodes where I can just like add like roofs based on like a volume or like a plane. Right, so I can make like any kind of shape roof. It will kind of deform to that. And then if you want to talk about optimization, what I will probably do when we come to the LODing stage is I'll turn that geo back to a tileable in like LOD 1 or 2 or something like that. So that it kind of goes from like all geo to like maybe a little bit of geo and then just full tileable. Something like that. That we have like a nice transition. That's at least my current thought process. We'll see. See once we get to it. Yeah, see? So that works nicely. We just have to do the same setup for the wood tiles as well. Hey, what's the plan for today? We're making roofs. So I'm making a set of wooden tiled roofs at the moment. That's a single line. And we want to have like a double one here. I guess, yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but I guess we'll have to do that manually. Yeah. So this starts to make sense then, because it didn't make sense that we were using the same end caps on all the sides of the roof because they were going to be different. Oh, great. Are we going to have to deal with this now? Ah. So annoying. I don't think there's anything that I can do against it apart from just restarting the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, but feel free to ask any more questions in the meantime. I hope that explained it well, Martijn. Or that made sense, at least. So... we'll put NCAP 02 there, but we then... Oh no. It's fine. So NCAP 01... we'll need to fix the position. A little confused on the tool. Oh, just how the tool works. So the tool I created, like in very simple forms, it just takes my input geometry, which is usually like a very simple plane or something like that. It will then, well, to make it really simple, it will then like cut that up in like a grid of points. And then I use that grid of points as location data to then scatter my tiles on. In a very, very simple way. So this kind of works. But then this guy needs to be... Oh, what? Why are they duplicated? Oh, my level instances are flipping out again. So... that's a single one. It's a multiple one. And then if I cut out that line, then that should be okay-ish. I think. Oh, it still has the old curve as well. And you order the points from top to bottom to get layering or something? Oh, no. That is just rotation. So, like, if I just rotate, like, all of them, like, that's how I get, like, just the layering going on. Very simple. Like, there's no fancy stuff going on here, really. I mean, in more detailed terms, what I do is I project a grid on top of it. Like, I have my base input, right? And then I project a grid on top of it. And then I cast from all the points onto that grid onto, like, the base geometry. And then I use those as, like, locational data. So it's a little bit more in depth, but you can make this, like, really simple as well. This is -1. This one? No? I think I would need this one here, but there's still a gap, right? What is that? Nah, that gap is definitely still there. Nope. Okay. Now we'll need to see. This is the annoying part. So face corner. Put that to my app. I'm gonna check. So this is roof tiles 02. 8. But I'm gonna see if we can just do that with our little wooden trim, you know? Eh. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this is the annoying part. I think they fixed that in like newer versions, but I've been too lazy to update. It's not too bad. I think the normals are completely out of whack as well. Hi, Andrea! How are you today? I'm doing good! Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing, Andrea? Happy to see you here. Happy to have you back. Let's see. It's a bit better. I think the material on it looks whack. Like, that material doesn't look good at all, but small steps. That's how we get this thing done. I'm gonna quickly see if hi everybody! Welcome to the community. How are you doing? Good to have you here. If we want to slap the trim sheet on it, I think we're gonna have to remap it. So let's not. I think it would also be nice to just have something different going on, I guess. Oh wait, there's actually one more thing that I want to try. So if we slap this guy on it, and then if we try and bake in it. Oh. What? Curvature AO, yeah. That's weird. So... Oh. Oh, maybe I filled it at a certain point with like vertex color. Yeah. Honestly, it still looks pretty whack, so I don't think the textile density is correct on these guys. So, what are we gonna do? Just gonna get this material, slap that back on there. So we're gonna deal with it right now. And then what I'll do is I'll do an update to this material instead. Let me actually have a quick look. Yeah, I'm not using a whole bunch of tiles on this material either. Kind of running into the same issue that I had before, right? With my other... one. What is this? I have so many of these maps. Where is it? Orphan data. Purge. Wait, hold up. Let me save first. Didn't really do that much, but... oh well. Love your streams, man. Helps me a lot. Oh, that's awesome. Happy to have you here. Catching it live as well. Andrea's not feeling well. Feeling dizzy, and this makes it difficult to work. Andrea, maybe you shouldn't be working then. Maybe take a little bit of a break. I mean, just a suggestion, right? Like, it's fine to take a chill. But you're happy to be here. Always fun to have a chill stream to watch and be a part of. Oh, that's awesome. Great to hear. I hope you get better well. Or get better soon. Or get better well. You know? Like, why not both? How do you set up the UVs in GeoNodes? In this one, not like this version that I'm currently running, like 3.3, doesn't really have that much support for UVs in Geo. That's why I need to do this awful step like this one right here. So if I apply my GeoNodes, I have to go to attributes because I store it in an attribute as face corner data, and then I have to convert this to an actual UV map, and that's when I get a UV map. Pretty stupid, but hey. That's the way that I have to do it. At least in this version. I think in the newer versions they added a bunch of new nodes. Add built-in support 4 UV maps, but I haven't checked them out yet, so got no clue on how they work. So now we can... Oh wait, what I'll do is I'll merge them the other way. Yeah, they do have a mapping node now, like you're saying, but haven't used it. So my setup is pretty jank still. Oh, and then we have this issue, right? Where I still use like my modular thing in here, which I need to rename as well before merging it. So this uses a bevel. So select sharp. Let's do that then. Sharp edges. Everything as sharp. Put it as bevel because we don't need that bevel. Yeah, I stepped away from my laptop a little, trying to take a well-needed rest. Yes! Do it, Andrea. Don't overexert yourself. Andrea, don't come in here and ask the forbidden question. How far till you're officially done? I don't know. No one knows. I think this might just be my retirement plan, you know? I'm just gonna treat it as that now. No, I honestly have no idea. Because I'm only spending like the 4 hours that I have on stream, right? Or like roughly on it a week. So this is gonna go on for a while. Unless because my other time has been taken away by setting up resources, doing Beyond Extend stuff, and we're also currently working on like I call it a studio project, but it's like a trial for like a studio project. So that's kind of taken up a lot of time as well. So, no clue really. But the good thing is, I'm not tired of it either. So there are moments when like before the stream, for example, I wanted to like rather work on some Beyond Extend stuff. But like once you get started, like I do enjoy this though. I do have a lot of fun with this project. Because it's slowly growing, right? Like it's very nice to see it like evolve over time. One thing that I have to do though, and maybe everyone could remind me of this like a couple of times a stream or something like that, is to take screenshots, because I keep forgetting. And it's been a while since I've taken my last one, I think. Let's have a look. I mean, I've taken a whole bunch of them, right? Let's go screenshots. I've taken like a whole bunch of them, but I think the last one was from... Yeah. Like from June, right? So I need to get into the habit of like taking regular screenshots of the progress again. But yeah, we've come a long way. And this is also... Oh my god, I forgot I had this. Yeah, this is how it started. Oh wait, hold up. The little house. When was that? Like 2021 February. So at least you can screenshot the stream. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's not as high quality, you know. So yeah, I think we're definitely gonna hit the 3-year mark on this project for sure. Because I have a bunch more stuff that I want to do, so we're definitely gonna hit that. You were just making a house so you'd finish something. Yeah, exactly. This this project started out as me wanting to do something small that I could finish in a relatively short amount of time. And I don't know. You decide if I failed or not, right? Like, I'm not sure. Hey, Lloyd. I think that's what makes it fun, being able to create so much without putting a time constraint on yourself. Less stress, I suppose. Yeah, it is definitely less stress, right? But there is also the reality that I am like quote unquote freelance, right? And I have to make my own income now. Not that I mean, I don't have the luxury that I had before when I was working in the industry, but it would be nice. It would be nice to just be able to say like, hey, look, I'm gonna put this one out there and just let it like have like a little bit additional income, right? And then just move on to the next thing, add that to the marketplace as well. So there is definitely like the business aspect. That's something that still sometimes chews at me though. It's not just all like rainbows and sunshine either, right? Yeah, you're definitely right though. Like not having like any additional pressure, right? Of like, oh, I need to get a job, I need to, especially the job part, right? Or I need to get it finished for my portfolio in a certain amount of time. Like, don't have anything of that, so you know, can't really complain. Can't really complain. Some dedication, which is amazing. Some people would have gotten bored after a year or so. Yeah, I think it's also because I'm jumping in between so many things now, right? Like everything takes so much longer, but it's so much more fun to be able to just jump in between things. Yeah, something that I really enjoy. Okay, so let's get these guys in again. Yes. Well, let's go. One of them didn't go in. Oh, because... disgusting. Convention. Ugh. How are you doing, by the way, Lloyd? Been a while since you popped into one of the streams, I think. Or maybe you're just lurking. Did I forget to re-export? Yeah, like that's the main thing, Andrea, that I wanted to do with this project. I wanted to, no matter what, finish it. Like, because there's so many things, like so many projects that I've kind of threw away, which I'm kind of done with that now, you know? Like, I just want to be able to work on something that I'm really passionate about and then also finish it, right? Like, and not necessarily care about like how long it takes me, It just needs to be done at some point. Lloyd is doing good, mainly lurking. Awesome. Sim roof would overhang meter 01. Yeah, why no export then? What's happening? Oh, doing it again. Yeah, why is this not importing? Sim roof would overhang 1 meter 01 in the roofs folder. Okay, in the roof folder. Roof overhang small 1 meter. Okay. Oh. Medieval. Oh, medieval roof overhang. Oh no, roof wood overhang. Sorry, naming convention is screwing up here. Nah, still screwed up. Okay. What is my naming convention? It's not small, right? Like, oh my god. Okay. 6 times the charm or whatever we're at now, right? There we go. Okay. We got there in the end. Bonk. Medieval roof overhanging roof piece. Oh my god. Final underscore. Just add all the possible naming conventions in there, right? Did you create all these models? Yes, I did. So everything you see is made by myself. Oh, sorry. Not true. Not true. There's this one building, like all the way here, which is a scan from like a local museum made by local students. Sorry. Sorry, I lied. Please forgive me. Let's see. So... I'm just thinking about like which buildings we need to replace the roofs off. I think this guy as well. But welcome to the chat. Vendry Sulfur. Thank you for the question as well. Just gonna do this instead, I think. For the roof, did you use individual parts to create it fully, or is it like a type of trim sheet? For the roof tiles itself, like these are mapped onto a tileable, and then I've cut out like individual tiles, and then I use those individual tiles to scatter them. So the same applies to these wood ones as well. Which the more I look at them, the more disgusted I feel by them, but hey. Because the texture is just not working. Like, it's just, ugh, it's a yucky texture. Okay, let's drag that in here. Town area has come up so much since I saw it last. Looks really nice. Yeah, thanks, Lloyd. Been working on it, slowly but surely. A small overhang, cool. Number 1, 2, and another number 2. It's a number 2 as well. We have these guys. I really need to double check like these last pieces, but right. Cool. So this building is also saved. Makes sense trying to do the same still, but learning as to how to do it without breaking my laptop. Actually, this is like a very non-intensive way of doing that on your hardware, I feel, right? Like just doing it the way that I'm doing it. It's not like you're because there's a workflow that I did before, right? Where you use the height map of the tileable to then tessellate your geometry, and that's like way more intensive on your hardware compared to doing it this way. Yeah, I guess that also kind of depends on the hardware that you have. So yeah, what are we thinking? So we got some thatched buildings, we got some wood buildings. I think that one I want to replace with wood as well. What's that? Building stockpile wood. Oh, that's just one building. Okay, that's not modular. Oh no. Oh no, it is. Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. I just made like a blueprint within a blueprint. That's actually cool that you can like go out of it again. Let's see. Because I can go into the first layer and then go into the second layer. That's actually pretty nice that you can do that. It's the first time I did that. Interesting. It's cool. It's good to know. Do you think to do also more foliage or so? What we need to do is we'll need to do crops. So I have like a bunch of crops that are still waiting to be made. What is it? I have like all this kind of stuff that still needs to be made. Hello? Oh, static mist foliage, okay. Like all these things still need to be made as well. But I think when it comes to the foliage, we might do some tweaks, but I don't think at this point that I'm gonna be making like a whole bunch of different foliage anymore. Because if we actually look at like the foliage areas, they start to look pretty nice, you know? I'm pretty happy with the state of it. I just need to tweak some of the stuff. Because what is happening currently? It's actually alright. Yeah, it's just doing tweaks. Doing tweaks, right? Let's see. These guys. Just for the town? Not necessarily for the town. Maybe some flowers, like if you have like a flower shop or something like that, maybe. But it's probably gonna stay pretty mundane like this. Okay. Oh no, let's actually get our little sections up here. What were you thinking of when it comes to the town, Hendrik? Maybe ivy or something for the big garden or so in the middle, like wine or something. Interesting. I do have some ivy, but I'm not using it currently, I think. The ivy is probably one of the older assets that I've made. So yeah. We do have like a bunch of ivy that we can scatter on stuff. That could be cool. Kind of forgot that we had it. So thanks for the reminder. Alright. These guys. Kind of want to keep it close to the silhouette again. That's the way that they're set up. Hold up. Let's move some of this stuff. Oh, that's in the middle. Oh. Okay. A weird pivot placement that I did. But I guess we can live with it. And then we'll do propagate this thing over here. Nice. Okay. Pretty nice. Just have to make the end just a little bit longer, I guess. And we're kind of screwing up the tiling a bit. Not that big of a deal. Okay. What? Oh, I duplicated it by accident. Oops. So that's roof 6 meter, top 0. We're gonna call that the same thing. So roof wood 6 meter. 3. 3 come. Hey, Christopher McNally! Just found these streams. They're very good quality. Thank you so much. Just wonder how you'd go about working on different roof piece metrics. Do you have certain numbers or metrics in mind for the pieces? Yeah, so I try to stick like the lowest, well, for the bigger pieces, the lowest number that I have in mind is like 0.5 meter, right? But I tend to stick with the dimensions that I have currently working are 1, 2, and 4. The reason is because with 1, 2, and 4, you can do like a lot of combinations, right? It gives you like a lot of flexibility. And I think once you go lower than like 1 meter, it becomes like very finicky. It becomes very detail oriented, right? Which you don't necessarily want to do with modular pieces. So I'm staying away from anything lower than that, apart from, you know, some of these like end caps or something like that, right? You could technically say that they're like smaller than 1 meter wide, but so yeah, you can see that here, right? So 1, 2, and 4. And that's kind of like the cadence that I go with. I'm gonna make a backup of this. Always do sneaky backups. Does that make sense, Christopher? Feel free to ask more questions if you want to. To a certain degree, like the metrics and like the numbers, they sort of depend on how detail oriented or how big you need to build stuff as well, right? Like if you're building like a very intricate pipe system, of course your pieces are going to be smaller than like very big building blocks, right? And also depends on how much detail you want in there. For example, there's a very interesting breakdown. Oh, Where is it? I think it's from Unreal Engine themselves, where they talk about how they approached the Matrix demo. And you can see how they split up like all their modular pieces for all the buildings in the entire thing. Very interesting to see like how in depth they went, because making the base. Let me see if I can find it actually. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I think this is the one. It's really technical and really in depth, right? But like there's really interesting stuff here. When obviously they use nanite, right? So way more complex than the stuff that I'm doing here. But it's really interesting like how modular they went and like how they broke it up. And then yeah, kind of using like, I mean, this doesn't necessarily go into like the planning of it, right? But very interesting to see. Where is it? Yeah, like the organization and the structure of everything was really interesting. I'll link it for everyone as well. Very interesting. You check it out. Because you don't necessarily get to see like a lot of this, right? And this is, I mean, this is really in depth, right? Like where they break down like all the variations, like all the corner pieces, like internal, external corners, like they had to go like really in depth. And then also, oh my god, this stuff. Just the bane of everyone's existence when it comes to like modular kits, but they found like a really interesting technique here where they have like flexible corners. Really interesting. And obviously, I mean, they have like a whole tech team working on this, right? So, I mean, they're gonna push it to the next level. And they have like a bunch of stuff that they scatter on top of it as well. It's freaking awesome to see this. Yeah, would definitely recommend giving that a watch. That's an awesome talk. This is so complex. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, they created like a whole world, right? So we're not talking about like, oh, just one modular kit. They had like modular kits for modular kits that they could then combine to make like different buildings, right? And different facades and different trims and different ornamental pieces. Yeah, they went crazy because like I was saying before, it's relatively easy to just make a modular kit that works, right? Like that is relatively simple, but to then make it look good and functional and build like a whole world with it where it doesn't just look like, hey, I'm walking through like a modular world, that's where the tricky part comes in. The corners must be possible in Geo. I must try it. Don't know what you mean. Because that was Geo in there as well, right? Or do you mean as like procedural Geo so that it like attaches to like sides or something like that? Okay. Let's apply all this stuff. And let's cut out these guys. Oh, geonodes, I mean. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The corners. I don't think that's necessarily too difficult. You can do everything in geonodes, I think. Or like you can, well, not everything. You can do a lot in geonodes. I think it's more like, why would you, right? That's usually the question when it comes to this stuff. Because if you're gonna do that in Unreal Engine, in this case, right? In this use case, then might as well do it in Unreal. Could be a fun thing to play around with though. Oh, want to do that? UV map. Add to it. Do the same thing here. Hey, Cairo! How is it going, buddy? Sorry, I completely forgot to reply to your message. But in short, I'm fine whenever you're fine to meet up. Okay, so, Tom. Number 2. That's 6 meters. Oh, yeah, because it's 6 meters in width. Yeah, that's definitely not going to get confusing at all. Oh yes, we needed that for this guy. These are all 2 meter. Seems like I was just a little lazy here. That's also... Going in roof. But it still has like a... definite stuff on it. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Ahmed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ooh. This guy, right? Yep. We'll need to fix some of that up. Because these ones don't really stack, and... Oh! This is where the pain comes in, right? Because I've already kind of collapsed it, so I should have checked that before, but I'm gonna instance these guys. So annoying sometimes. Oh, that's the X amount. Ah, yeah, we do need to fix it. Screw it. Let's try a more manual fix then. Because it's just like a couple of holes, right? So, I'm just gonna grab this guy and just move them over. Not everything needs like a very fancy approach, you know? Bonk. Nice. So now we're getting like a nice transition from the outskirts to like the more important buildings. I think we're gonna have to replace some of these guys maybe. I don't know. Let's be really brutal about this, right? Let's see. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's first save it. See. No autosave. Okay. Top down is nice. Yeah, we're getting there, right? We're getting there. I think just having different materials, even though the materials look kind of shit at the moment, already helps a lot. I think we'll just have to... Yeah, we'll just do this, right? Just get rid of some of this stuff. No, not the landscape. No. And we'll see. I think maybe... awning made with thatch instead. Rid of the tiles. I have a feeling that we might have to create like some additional houses still. Or just like variations of houses, right? Hmm. I don't want it to be too build up either. Because I do want to do some set dressing in between as well. Because it's not only just a housing, right? Like I want little areas where people gather or do their washing up or whatever it is they're doing, right? This looks a bit weird. Maybe get another house in there. I think what would be nice. Okay, I'm just gonna do a test of this, right? So what if we were to have like a little tavern or something like that here, right? So that it becomes like one bigger building rather than like a couple of small ones. And maybe that look like. Avenue building. And then we would probably have like a little stable thing. Oh, didn't I make a group out of this? Oh, that's annoying. That's dumb. Everything. This guy is up, so that's like a little stable area. We don't do that. Maybe this could be like a stable area as well. Andrea has a question. Tim, what was your planning like for the project? Did you plan as you go, or was it diligent research before jumping into a project like this? So, a lot of it evolved over time, right? But in the beginning, I did do a lot of research into what kind of vibe that I wanted to set, and I knew that I wanted to go into something that was more grounded in reality, right? So not necessarily fantasy, but like very grounded in reality. And I chose a very specific time period to kind of guide like all my choices when it comes to that. And my time period was like very early medieval, ages, because I feel like a lot of medieval times that are represented are all about like the knights and all that kind of stuff, right? Where like metal was pretty abundant, and I actually wanted to do something more like the beginning, like the beginning times, right? When wooden forts and that metal was used for like more important stuff rather than for everything else. So you'll see that here, right? You're not really seeing that much metal. Like it's mainly wood. And the metal that I do have is kind of just for like the forge here, right? That's where you're seeing like a little bit of metal come in. And also like on some of the chests as well. So if we hold up. I still need to make the metal, right? But some of these chests, they start getting like metal, and it hints to like these chests being used by more well-off people, right? Like landlords or like whatever they call them, like the nobles in that time. So that was always like my foundation that I would link to, right? And like my goal was to make, well, in the beginning it was the one house, right? But then over time it kind of grew into like, I want to have like a representation of what normal medieval life would be to the best of my abilities, right? Like to a certain degree. So now we're focusing on like a developed town, but I actually have in mind to do like more hovel kind of situations, right? Where it's just like a couple of houses, maybe like a shitty wall built around it. That's not really, that's more there for like wildlife rather than other people. But I want to represent that as well. And then the research, I mean, a lot of it is based on like finding accurate, or as close as you can get to accurate sources of inspiration, right? Or like reference. So that's why I keep mentioning Gideon, which is like a castle that's being rebuilt using authentic techniques from like the 1300s, I think. Very cool, very interesting. I have a bunch of those things. They even have like a whole YouTube series that's called The Fires of Gideon, which is all about like a different aspect, like each entry. And it kind of goes over like, hey, how do we make stone? You know, like how do we make wood? Like how do we make planks? Like how do we make like wooden roofs? Like all that kind of stuff. Super in-depth, super interesting. So like all this kind of stuff is all from Gideon. Like that's the way that they built their carpentry shop. It kind of started with this one, and then it kind of grew into like the big carpentry shops. And this is the wood that they use for the roofs, all that kind of stuff, right? Like there's a person who is making wooden shingles like almost full time to just put on roofs, right? And they use like specific axes to make them. It's like a whole bunch of research that goes into it. And then I have like different zones, right, that I want to make. So the carpenter is pretty well developed at this point. A paint shop is also really well developed. I have like all the things that I wanted to make for it. We kind of did like a watermill, like, I don't know, 10 maybe 20 streams ago or something like that, very early on. But yeah, it kind of just kept evolving, you know? Like, as I discovered new things, I would add like new areas as well. Because then I discovered like, oh, this is how they make charcoal, right? And then how does this compare to like the references that I'm getting from games where don't know if I have the charcoal pits from thingy in here from Deliverance Kingdom Come. I don't think so. But they have charcoal pits as well, and they do them in a slightly different way, so it's kind of cool to see how they all... I mean, none of this was standardized either, right? So there's also like a leeway that you can get with this. So yeah, just basically, it was building a solid foundation, right? Like, what did I want to do with this? Like, what is my goal for the project? And then when it comes to like the planning and the research, like that sort of comes over time. Because there's moments when I'm like, hey, I have no clue how to make this. Let's look it up, right? Let's dive into it. So yeah, for example, like all this stuff, like shaving horses, like how do they work? Like you see that this guy is like holding like the weight down so that he doesn't have to hold like this piece that he's shaving off like with his hands anymore. It's stupid stuff like that, right? But like really understanding how things work. Like a cleaving break. Like where they split wood in like very small layers. Especially handy for roof tiles as well. And then like these very old like bowl lathes as well, where they would like turn bowls and make plates and all that stuff. Yeah. A lot of research. A lot of research, a lot of time that crept into this. But that's honestly where I get like a lot of my creative juices from, you know. It's just like diving into all of this, like how do they make a wheel? Like, oh, it's not just one layer of planks, it's 3 layers of planks that are like bashed together. Cool. Yeah, and like I was saying as well, there are a lot of replicas, right? So for example, all these guys with like the white background, they are film props. So when it comes to those, I can't necessarily one-to-one replicate them, or I don't want to, because I don't know how accurate to the times they were, right? So then it's like, cool, this looks awesome. I want to make that, but is that realistic, right? Like, what does like a mobile grindstone look like in the medieval times? And then looking at like replicas that people are building now, and then seeing how close to like the final thing and how deep they go. So I know that this is a rabbit hole, right? But the amount of blogs that I discovered about like people trying to like accurately recreate pieces of like the early medieval times, super interesting. Super interesting. There's shit, I think it's called the Thomas Guild of Woodworking. And it's a blog dedicated to medieval woodworking. You know, spend a lot of my time on that one. Let me see if I can share the link. St. Thomas Guild. Here we go. Medieval woodworking, furniture, and other crafts. And this is still relatively updated, right? But I went through, like, this entire thing. Like, just seeing how, like, stuff is carved, like, how they plan stuff out, like, where do they get the inspiration from, like, what is it based on, you know? Like, oh, so cool. You know, like, look at this. Like, this is a guy just coming from, like, a painting from, like, the 1300s, and he's like, cool. Maybe I want to have that guy in my frame, you know? Super cool to see this kind of stuff. Has a bunch of good pages as well. Let me share this link. Hi, Costas! We're currently nerding out on a bunch of medieval woodworking. Yeah, cites like a bunch of sources. I had a look at like the majority of these, right? Like in public libraries or something like that as well. Or like online libraries, right? This stuff, yeah. This is super interesting. And just like how to make a drawer, right? Like this stuff, we don't really do that anymore. We just slap a couple of nails in there, but like we don't really make these dovetail connections. Or like Still do, but it's craftsman, right? Like it's not made in the majority of cases. Pretty cool. I'll definitely have a look at the website. Yeah, this is the rabbit holes that I go into, right? Like I spend hours and hours like during my evenings just looking up stuff like this. Like how does a medieval watermill work? And really going into like the mechanics and what's important and like how stuff is being driven and yeah. Wanted to ask him, did you cover any wooden trim sheets on this project? I covered them a couple of times in like my earlier streams, I think. I don't really have the accurate number. But I do also cover it in the PDF though. Like in the book that has it too. But yeah, so long story short, like TLDR, a lot of this stuff just comes up whenever I'm thinking about creating like a new area, or I'm kind of lost in the area that I currently want to replicate. This is, by the way, something that I always try to do when I'm looking for references for the projects that I'm making. I'm trying to look for like really obscure sources. Like blog posts or like hidden travel journals or whatever, right? Whatever I can get my hands on that's like really obscure and kind of goes into like all the details that I need. Like that's what I want on my projects. So let's actually reroute this. So you kind of have like a little curve coming into town. But you kind of see the inn first. Don't know if I have a view. Yeah. Maybe we'll angle it as well. Right, so you're heading into the inn first. Just to make it a little bit more dynamic as well, you know, the whole thing, rather than have it like neatly stacked, like neatly aligned. Let's try to make it more interesting, you know? But yeah, thanks for the question, Araya. Like, if there's anything else that I can shine a light on, you know, because I kind of rambled on like a bunch of stuff, just let me know. And then maybe this guy here. Getting lots of compliments on the trim sheet guide on the PDF from my student sim. Share it twice a week. Oh, that's awesome, Cairo. All the thanks really go to Scott on that one. He set that one up. So I'll pass it on. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I hope that all the work with your students is going well as well. I'm sure you're keeping busy. So I'm currently thinking how we're gonna set this up, right? Because I kind of thinking where to put the stables, or like where people can put their horses. So maybe it does make a bit more sense if we put it this way. Right, and then it becomes a bit more like a secluded kind of area. So you come in, you walk past it here, but over here maybe, because I'm thinking about the way that the town was laid out in Kingdom Come. I don't think I have like a map of it here, and I can't really remember the town name. Let's have a look. No, I don't think I have it here. Dang, sucks. But they had like this one main road, and I think one of the taverns kind of had like a more open space with like a fire in the middle. And you had the tavern on the one side, and then like a couple of buildings on the other side. Kind of like the way that was set up. But then the rest of the town was like more. Let's do big blockouts, right? Like it was more aligned like this, so everything was kind of just aligned to the road a bit more. Guess we could still try it. See where it gets us. Then we're going into like the orderly route again. Right? I'm always curious to know how people approach projects. I noticed I do a little research because I have... Because if I do too much in the initial phase, I lose motivation since there's so much to choose from. Yeah, that's why I think it's important to start with like why you want to do this, right? Because the why kind of keeps you in check and kind of keeps you grounded. At least for the most part, right? Like I wanted to... Like I said before, like I wanted to finish a project, right? I'm done with not finishing projects, so I'm gonna finish this one. And then I also just was really interested in just the medieval side of things, right? But like representing a side of the medieval era that was like a little bit less represented, right? Than just like the high fantasy medieval stuff. Yeah, and then honestly, like when I started working on it, it was more like feeling where I wanted to go, right? I think that's very important, but like it's always kind of weird when you have to explain it, right? But like I felt like, hey, I want to go bigger with this. And not only saying that because it's difficult, right? Because I want to say that you should follow your heart and like if you want to go bigger and whatever, right? But there needs to be like a lot of consideration in that statement because I've done so many projects before this and I have a relative like I have a good amount of like industry experience, right? So at this point, like I kind of know what I'm doing, right? Like that's fair to say. So I knew that what I was getting into, right? But you have to be careful in the beginning that you don't become too eager to do something and don't necessarily have the required skills to do so, right? So there's like the 80-20 rule with everything, right? Like 80% comfort zone and 20% like new things that you want to teach yourself. That seems to be like a good balance to stay motivated. Touching on this topic, what is the ratio of historically accurate to rule to cool do you like to use in general? It's a good question, right? Because people keep bringing up the light sources specifically, which has always been, I mean, it's famous, right? Like all these cauldrons, like some of these torches, I don't know, I just deleted a couple, I think. These torches, right? Super inaccurate. But I want to do cool night shots. So I kind of need some light sources in there, right? Because what you would normally have is maybe a guy walking around at night with a torch. Maybe. But normally, like once the sun goes down, like it's freaking dark, apart from rush lights. So rush lights are floating saw is awesome. Rush lights are like a very cheap option to get some sort of light in there, right? But they just don't offer too much. So let me see. So this is a rush light, right? Like it's like a little basin filled with like animal tallow or fat with like a little bit of rope, and that then like adds a little bit of light. So this is like historically accurate, right? This is also used by the Romans and all that stuff. All those generations before it. But the issue with that is that it just doesn't give too much light, like realistically. Right? So if you can't really light like a whole scene with this. Right? So I needed something that can kind of still like act as a light source, even though it kind of breaks the historical accuracy, right? There's one other light source, but I don't think this one is accurate, but it's kind of hard to tell. Which are like these guys, right? Like they're little lanterns. But I honestly don't think they were used that often, apart from like the later ages. But yeah, these rush lights, they were super easy to make. They would have them with rope. They would also have them with sometimes they would also have them with grass. Like what is it? Like a special kind of grass that they then again like let soak for like a couple of hours at least in like animal tallow or animal fat, and then you could burn them, but they would only burn for like a couple of minutes, right? So they're like really impractical. But yeah, you still need to find like the balance somewhere, right? Again, I went into like a giant rabbit hole on this. I saw a guy like making his own like rush lights. Let's see. Yeah, this guy. So let's see. So he gathers some grass, right? I think it's not grass, right? It's a special kind of reed, I think. And then you would bundle them up, you would let them soak, you would let them dry out. Or I think yeah, he adds like animal fat to it. Yeah, he melts it and then dips it in animal fat. And then yeah, they would burn. But you can see how quickly they burn up. Right? So yeah. Very impractical. But it's cool, right? It is cool to get to know all this. And then also, like, a lot of them use these kind of setups. But again, like, I'm doing it from, like, a later medieval age perspective, right? So I can't really use too much metal. But what this is basically, like, you can clip this open and then just add, like, a little brass blade in here, right? Like a little rush. You would add that in there. And that's it. That's how they would have it there, right? Like a very cheap candle option. So I could potentially still do something like this. But yeah, even then, right? Like the options are not too not too widespread, right? Like I don't really have too much of it to go from. So I had to take like some creative liberties there. But it's, yeah, just in general, to come back to your question, right? Like, what's the ratio? Usually, it's just whenever I feel like I'm getting an issue where I can't reach my artistic vision, right? So in this case, my artistic vision, I want to do night shots, right? But then I also need to have like some kind of light to light up the night as well, right? So that's where I needed to take like creative liberties as well. For example, the torches on the wall, right? Very unrealistic, but they look freaking cool, you know? Like if you go at night and then you see this stuff on the wall, like especially with the slight glimmer, like looking at it from the outside, right? Looks pretty neat. Yeah. It's a great question though, because I think a lot of people struggle with that. It's also, I'm trying to stay as much in the historical accurate realm as possible, right? But this is not gonna be like on a documentary or like the History Channel or something like that either, right? So I don't need to care about it too much. Oh my god, grass my eyes. I know, quick, hide it. Doo-doo. So, okay, what I'm... Oh, actually. We use this guy. Ooh, maybe that would be interesting for... Let's see. Speaking of documentaries, there's some truly rushed Unreal Engine work on the recent Stephen Fry this dinosaur documentary. Yeah, man, I was actually talking to some people about this where we have a really high standard of what looks good, right? But let's say you're working for a documentary, I think a lot of that stuff just goes out of the way because a lot of people just don't necessarily care how good that looks, right? Like if I don't know, it probably pains us, but like the majority of people are just gonna be fine with like an ugly looking dinosaur on your screen, if you know what I mean. I've always found that interesting, right? Because this is what we do, right? This is our life. So we see like 3D stuff day in, day out, and then as soon as we see like shitty 3D or stuff that doesn't make sense to your screen, like ugh, disgusting. But other people are just like, I didn't see anything, didn't notice any of that. What are you talking about? It doesn't make me want to check it out though, just to see how bad it is. What are we doing here? So I kind of wanna have the tavern here, right? So let's the Tanner's Inn. I think we're gonna change the name of that. You want to see some jank? Okay. I need to check out the jank. I do think, man, sometimes I just want to go back to like being just unknowing about like any 3D stuff, right? Because as soon as something looks horrible in a video game or in a movie, it's hard to back away from it, you know? Like the immersion is just completely shattered and you're just like, ugh. Hey Antonio, hey Rock1. How are you both doing? Do you have a name for the tavern? No, Andrea. What are we gonna name the tavern? Or anyone, feel free to shout out some names. And then I could maybe turn that into like a cool little sign outside, you know, once we get to those. Still thinking, right? So I think this is fine. Like maybe we have a shed in the back, or maybe a chicken coop. Chicken coop. And I kind of... it's highly unlikely that we'll make a castle at this point, I think. I want to keep it to the era of maybe wooden castles. Maybe we'll do a wooden one. But I don't necessarily want to make a stone one. Yeah, okay, so... And maybe we'll close that in again. Cool with a catapult. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna make any weaponry though. There's enough catapults out there. I want to keep it to like the more peasant stuff. You know, like just the more non-violent stuff. Let's think. So we got the stables here. Kind of thinking like how. The Rusty Iron Tavern. Like that. That's a good placeholder name. Are you working on this outside of streams currently? No, I only work on it during the stream. So I think at some point, because we just did like a huge change to the studio project, which was taking up a lot of my time, but will take up like significantly less time now. Maybe there's the opportunity to do so. But I'm currently actually working on setting up like a resource hub. We already have one, right? But it was on Notion, and I don't think a lot of people knew that it even existed. So what I'm currently doing, I'll share it. It's looking pretty decent. Resource hub. So this is what I'm currently setting up. Just like a whole bunch of articles on what makes a good CV, what makes a good portfolio, like how to figure out your pay, like all that kind of stuff. A lot of this stuff is already written out. I've written like a bunch of this stuff like over the years. I just need to port it to the website and then just make it like way more accessible to people. But yeah, that's what I'm currently taking a lot of my time out of, and I'm also setting up like some new stuff, right, with other people as well. So we have a lot of stuff on the go. But yeah, very much work in progress, but that's what's taking up a lot of my time. It would be cool to do more stuff on this in the future though, like get some proper traction on this again. Very nice. Yeah, it's gonna take me like a little bit of time to get that all set up. As always, shortage of time, never a shortage of ideas and stuff to do. Oh, but you know what? I will be working on this during our new working together sessions that we're gonna have from next week. Next week, Tuesday. I'll probably work on this as well. It's gonna be pretty fun. But that's gonna be... I don't think it's like gonna be like a professional thing. Because it's in the middle of the day, so I doubt like a lot of professionals can show up to that one. It's gonna be awesome to get to know a lot of people from the community that are new though. Be nice. We have to replace this building with like a tavern building as well. What's gonna happen here? A storage as well. Probably a bit too big. Oh, maybe that could be cool, like in the middle here. This tree's a chunky boy though. Maybe not a bad idea. I think Henrik was suggesting it as well, right? Oh, kind of nice. You only have to worry about like person-sized gaps between these buildings, and can get super close. No vehicles. Yeah. Like, I'm also not really keeping in mind like any nav mesh issues or like any LD like issues either, right? So, it's so freeing. Or like, especially breakable rules. Where, for example, you couldn't have something that wasn't breakable on top of something that was breakable. Because then if you shot the breakable thing, like the non-breakable thing would just float in midair. I was, oh my god, so annoying. So you would set dress like a whole area. And then someone like an LD would come in, or like a technical level designer, and they would like verify the whole location, and they would be like, "Whoa, hold up! Like all the stuff you did here in this area needs to go." It's like, why? Yeah, because you stacked them wrong. It's like, oh, kidding? Game development, man. Game development. Oh my god. Sometimes, you know. Yeah, so Cairo, I'm not complaining. I love this. Scale this sucker down a little bit. If you add some fireflies in the trees, the night shots will look amazing. Yeah, that could be interesting. I probably don't have too many fireflies here though. Well, I don't think I even have defined where here is, so I'm not even sure about that. So, mud, you're going in there. You're going in there. Oh, you know what? In terms of foliage, we do need to get some bushes in, because we don't have any bushes, and it kind of looks weird without them. So yeah, that's definitely one thing of foliage we definitely still have to make. I actually kind of like this area. Just I can imagine people like putting their horses here and then just coming into the tavern. Would be sweet. I don't know what we're gonna put there though. Maybe a chicken coop again? Little chicken coop. I do have to say I like where this area is headed now. I wasn't too sure about this area before, but I like where this is headed. And we can kind of have like a little path down here as well. People kind of like cut through. Oop. Just fill it up a little bit. We can maybe have... Gonna go for a review. Looking great, buddy. Have fun in the review, Cairo. Enjoy. And thank you so much. So this area is really starting to get an identity now, which is really nice. We'll just have to see if we can like infuse the other areas with some sort of identity too. Hmm. Just thinking about, like, would they have that so close to the wall? Probably not, right? This still, this feels a little bit too tight to get like a carriage into. Let's walk around a little bit. Let's check it out on the ground floor. Hey, Karov! Good evening. How are you doing? We're just walking around. I've been revamping this area, trying to get some identity into it, so I'm gonna see if that worked. Like all the small stuff happening on the floor, though. Very nice. I think once we make this into like one full building, like this is also gonna look like really nice. I like how non-squarish it feels, right? Like it feels like a real building, this one. Where with some of the other ones, we still have to do like a little bit of work on it. Especially the square ones. Or maybe not use them that much, maybe. Improvements. Like how that is coming together. And we have the road leading off here. Then maybe we can do like a bigger building here as well. We have like a kit bashed building. Again. This is also like a very good tip, you know, just in general. Like if you're not sure, like just bash stuff together and then you can still tweak it afterwards, right? Like you're not doing anything wrong here by just seeing how this works, because I actually kind of like how this works. And we can still make it pretty. Oh my god, the RDVT. Ns, ns, ns. So yeah, we could push it a little bit closer, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't make too much sense, right? Like when you have like something like this. I don't mind it. It's like very organic. Whole village looking good. Thank you, Guillaume. Thank you. I'm thinking. You have these houses as well, but I don't think they really fit. I think they serve better outside of the city, honestly. Because I'm kind of thinking what we can do with this open space that we have now. Thatch house, number 2. Some generic storage, and then if we put some fencing around. It's a bit chaotic still. Wood. Well, didn't necessarily want shingles, but yeah, some people chopping up wood could be nice. Oh, I haven't done the axes yet. That's right. I've only done the other tools. These don't look finished yet. Ooh. Let's give this guy a roof. Oh no. Cairo sent me the link of like the Stephen Fry like episode. Damn it. I don't want to watch that now. Let's have a look. Well, I'll have to watch that after the stream, I think. Talking about the end of the stream, I think I'm gonna leave it here, people. I think we made some good progress. I still need to finish up some of the roof pieces and the texture for sure, because the texture is kind of bothersome at this point. So I definitely want to get that finished up as well, or like at least improved. You know, looking a little bit better, because it's really lacking in quality compared to the other stuff. But yeah, I think this area is starting to feel real nice, like the tavern area. So next time, what we'll probably do is either we'll make like a couple of new blueprints for the houses. Maybe we'll improve the texture for the roof, and we'll probably do some more set dressing as well, for sure. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Thanks for all the good questions. As always, I love to have you all here. And when is the next one? Next week Friday I'll do like another art stream. But I think the next stream is just gonna be Work in Progress Wednesday. So if you want to participate in that one, feel free to pop in Wednesday evening. And if not, I'll see you here on Friday again. So thank you so much for being here. I wish you all a nice day and stay creative, people. Bye-bye.